cool. Welcome back to the channel, YouTube. How's that bite? I'm Miguel Malenciano, and this is Evolution Angler Bassin. And we're back again with another episode of What's in the Box. Today, I have a little bit of dinner and dessert, and I'm gonna show you what I mean. We have a package from Do It Molds and a package from Fish USA. I'm sort of eager to see what we got, so let's just jump right into it. So first off, I want to say this video is not sponsored in any way, but with that being said, I do want to give a thank you over to the whole Do It team, especially Brennan. You guys are definitely a pleasure to deal with. Thank you for making sure the package is right on time and for making sure I'm all set to go in this little journey of mine. You're going to see me primarily mess around with Do It Molds. Again, I'm not sponsored by them, just a company that's trusted, been around for a while, has good products, and from personal experience, even though they're bigger in the world of lure making, as a customer, you know, they have that real personalized small tackle shop feel. Definitely people persons and easy to get through. So yeah, let's see what we got. So first off, we have a gallon of Essential Series Plastisol. This is part of their Essential Series again, which they do have molds, glitters, and colorants in. It's a good starting point for a lure maker if you're new to this, or if you want to get your hands wet in terms of common everyday use with lure making. The Essential Series is definitely the way to go. So yeah, I got the 1 gallon size Essential Series Plastisol. Here we have a 1 pint size hardener. No experience with this yet, but as advertised, this will harden up your soft plastics. Depending on what kind of soft plastic you're using, you may want to go with a little bit firmer texture. Then on the other end of the spectrum, you may want to go a little softer. So I ended up getting 1 pint of the softener. Just to give you a little bit of idea, a little bit of reference. Like Gary Yamamoto worms, in terms of softness, are super soft. That is one end of the spectrum. And as to where other type of presentations, such as crawdads, you might want to go with a firmer, harder plastic. Moving on. Here we have a 100 count pack of baggies. Doing a lot of trick worms, doing a lot of Senkos, even the grubs. You know, this is just a good overall size bag to have. They do have different sizes, different quantities in those sizes. For general terms, for my use, I'm gonna end up going with this size right here, which I believe was the 7x4, 7x5. Yep, 100 count 7x4. Moving on. All right, so here we have some colors. So again, part of the Essential Series colorant, we have Essential Series Black. You know, predominant color, definitely a must. Color to have in terms of early on in your collection, so I, bang, have it right there. And then Watermelon Green. So I got the watermelon green, and I feel like this is a versatile color because if I mix and match a couple of my colors, I could turn one color into another. So I definitely see a lot of play on the watermelon green, or if not as is, you know, it's a popular color. So I'm glad to have it early on in the lineup. Essential Series Watermelon Green. Then we have a couple powders here. Your classic pearl powder. I definitely want to learn how to mess around with this. It's a color that I fish a lot. My first powder-based paint. Cool, you know? Pearl powder. Definitely a must-to-have in terms of colorants if you're a lure maker. Then this right here, this is something that's pretty interesting. So this is going to be powderized glowing pigment, and it's going to be in blue. I'll probably use this a lot for your beaver style bait, your craw style baits. For the appendages, I might even use this for certain kind of swim baits. I might end up freestyling bluegill imitations, so this is definitely a good color to have. They do have more colors in the series. I believe a natural color, which is great again, in terms of imitating anything natural, right? They do have like a chartreuse color, a little bit brighter, a lot more brighter actually. Interesting. I ended up getting the blue first of all because I do fish a lot of jigs, a lot of crawdad imitations, black and blue. So I'll see where this leads me, and I'm definitely already looking to expand. Interesting item here. Blue Super Glow pigment. Okay, here we have another Essential Series colorant. This is their blue, black, blue, green. See what I'm doing here? Getting my basic colors in order. Yeah, not much to it, just another color to add to the lineup. Another color, their fluorescent orange in the Essential Series. I definitely now have my colors to imitate bluegill patterns, certain crawdad patterns. A lot of small lake and pond forage items I can now imitate, so I have my bases of colors again. So here we have high density sinking additive. It's going to be very similar to your salt. However, this does come in liquid form. I could have just added salt, but this seemed interesting to me, so I went ahead with it, and here it is. Looking to expand my horizons. Of course, I could always go back and get some salt. That's not a major issue, just looking to add certain tools to my repertoire. So I added the high density sinking additive. Okay. Here we have some smaller bottles. First off, we're gonna have their Java and garlic scent. Do It does have a good lineup of scents. Do have more than one. This is very strong, it's very potent. I could smell it right from here as is. Again, their Java and garlic scent. You're not gonna need much per pack of baits. Then next we have Plastisol Stabilizer. So I am definitely not a mixologist. There are instances where I'll definitely maybe burn the plastic a little bit or may want it a little bit more to liking. So I ended up going with their Plastisol Stabilizer. Small bottle just to get started with. Definitely a must if we're messing with Plastisol. Then here, especially for me that I'm messing with a lot of worms, some worm oil. You can never go wrong. You could always use some worm oil. This is actually an essential. I would definitely have this all the time, and I'm not new to the game, and I know that. So some worm oil to get me started with, but something tells me I'm gonna end up having a lot more than this. So Do It soft bait worm oil. All right, now we have a mold. So I can't place an order from Do It molds and not get a Do It mold. So this time we ended up going with 4.5 inch beaver style bug. And as you can see, there's one cavity per mold. I do fish a lot of finesse jigs, a lot of mid-sized jigs. This is gonna be an interesting player in the game. My first jig style mold. Very excited to have it in the lineup, and I'm glad that Do It offers one in their Essential Series. Bang. Definitely a good pickup here. We're sort of running out of stuff here. All right, 2 more items in the package. So they included a nice little magazine, nice little catalog to order stuff out of. Again, outstanding customer service. And I thought this was neat. So attention to detail, they did include in the package a nice little hat and some decals here. As you can see, got one up already. And this was the part that really puts the attention to detail. And why I feel very happy moving forward with a company like this as I venture into this new hobby of mine. They included nozzle heads. I didn't order these. I think this was a very nice finishing touch on the deal. Something like this that was an oversight on my end, they went ahead and included for me. So I'm not saying that, this is something that's done with every single order, but in this case, again, thank you. Especially as a new lure maker, I, again, don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just picking it up as I go, right? So this was something that could have cost me a week or 2 waiting time and a lot of mess on my hands, quite literally. But again, attention to detail. So that's the package from Do It Molds. Let's move on to some dessert. So we are so close to pre-spawn, aren't we? At least here in New York we are. There's like this much ice left. And I had noticed, even though I have a couple going already, in terms of the OG anyway. Oh, look everybody, it's Chad Hoover. There was a couple items I was missing in my tackle, especially for this time of the year. So I went ahead and got that addressed. Some dessert, ladies and gentlemen. First, let's start out with Here we have the Chatterbait Micro. So this little bad boy right here, I sort of want to master this. I have fished it before last year. When it was all said and done, I was using it skirtless on their diesel minnow swim bait. This one's already chewed up. It was just still sitting in my tackle box, but just wanted to give you an idea of how I was using it. Just letting this dive down on pad edges and then bursting it up. Just letting that blade rip savagely. And let me tell you, when fish are lethargic, sometimes you get them to do funny things. This little deal right here got them to do a lot of funny things for me last year. So we're back at it again this year. And I started out the year with chartreuse color, but I may end up going back to the well and grabbing a couple more. Now with the OG. Bang. I can't put in an order for chatterbaits and not get the OG. Regardless what anyone says, the OG is the OG and this gets the job done. This is the one that we pretty much all learned on and the one that we have the most confidence in. I could fish this in my sleep and catch a fish and pull them out of my dreams. Come on now. Also, I wanted to know the color on this. This is very key for the pre-spawn red. I'm looking to imitate bait fish that may have been around in the mud a lot. It's just speeding up its metabolism. You know, looking to elicit a reaction strike here with the OG chatterbait in red. And now we're moving on to something new here. I haven't fished a jackhammer yet. I was a little bit skeptical, right, for the price of it all. But I want to see what all the fuss is about. Apart from all the components that this chatterbait does have, which I feel that it does have superior components, what's key about this is it's supposed to get going right away. So yeah, I wanted to invest in it. I went and got the golden shiner pattern, and I got this in the 3/8 size, which I'm going to be fishing a lot of shallow water, a lot of close cover, you know, so those two things that I mentioned are very key for what this one lure brings to the table. I could literally toss this into inches of water right to the edge of a bank and get it going like that. The same thing goes for pad edges, the same thing goes for reeds, the same thing goes for rocks and hydrilla and standing timber, which pretty much most of the bodies of water that I fish here do tend to have. Again, like I was saying with the micro I was using from last year, I just let it fall and then just rip it right up. I may not have to put so much effort into that this year, especially with the jackhammer. So I got it in the golden shiner pattern. Then as if that wasn't enough, I went ahead and got it in the bruised green pumpkin pattern. And I actually want to take this one out and just explain some of the features that this has. So again, it starts running quick. As to where that one had the flash on the blade, this one's not going to be a matte black, but it is going to be a black. It is a stainless steel blade. You're going to have your decoy egg snap. The eyes on this jig here are official. So they are 3D eyes, which, you know, attention to detail. If you're paying this much for a bladed jig, it better come with some nice features such as that right there. It does have a Gamakatsu heavy wire O'Shaughnessy hook, and some people prefer different kind of keepers. I like this style keeper, the double wire keeper. Something about it, especially with the Z-Man plastics, it just keeps them right and tight in there. Maybe a little super glue, and they're gonna last an extra long amount of time fixed, and that is key. So, you know, I just like this. This grabs it. Also, when it comes time to take the trailer off, something about it, you just undo it in a certain way and it just comes right off. You know, it could be a lot tougher. I do like this style. Yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for the bruised pumpkin green jackhammer. I'm excited about these two. Then we have some Nedlock 1/10 size EWG hooks, and these are meant for Ned rigging. You know, I already have a couple TRDs in my lineup. You know, it's not bad to add a different style presentation, go a little bit more weedless with these. I'll take one out so you can see what I mean. So these are now in EWG form, which I like because you could just put the presentation different and make it weedless, as to where with the straight wire bend before, not so much. For my situation where I fish heavy vegetation ponds most of the time, and by June already they're pretty much covered in vegetation, you know, this is pretty cool. And now this allows me different situations and different areas to throw this in. A little bit heavier cover. Okay, so now I do want to keep the connection going. I actually got this as a uni trailer. So this is the baby goat. And this color is the Hot Craw. And I'm actually gonna use this on both the Chatterbait, the OG in red. I believe that if I snip it down just a little bit, I can use it as well on Micro. And this is gonna get used on the OG as well. So this has some pretty good action on the feet here. They're just gonna flop back and forth. This would be the case for it rigged vertically on the EWG Nedlock rig. And yeah, I like it. It does have that glitter, that shine, and it does bring out a little bit of motor oil if you notice finally, which is a favorite of mine, so. And that was the baby goat. Sorry guys, no goat, not this time. But we are going not one, but 2 billy goats. And these I got straight up for trailers for the jackhammers. So this is the Okeechobee Craw billy goat, which I got for the bruised pumpkin jackhammer. And you can pretty much see why. It's got that nice blue tone to it and that nice dark pumpkin. Also, the size, I ended up not going with the regular goat, and I'll tell you why. Because I believe the legs are a little bit longer on this billy goat, and that's pretty key, and I'll tell you why, because it's gonna create a little bit more action in the water, a little bit more kick, a little bit more flap. And when you add that with the erraticness that the jackhammer already possesses, might be a deal. It's tough to beat, so yep, it's not a bad deal right there. We're gonna make it happen this year. We're gonna make it happen. Then last on the dessert menu is the exact same, the billy goat, but this time we're tossing this on the deal color. You see, you're gonna have your dark shade of pumpkin here, and then you're almost pearl-like, but it's got like a fluorescent light baby blue on it. This color was very popular for me last year, actually. Again, where's it at? I believe that is the deal, no pun intended, right there. Bang. So a little bit of history with this color, and yeah, I'm gonna toss this on the Shiner jackhammer that I got. You know, just, I wanna give a little bit of an imitation of everything that I have in my local ponds. So golden Shiner, right? And here we have a little pumpkin seed. And that's gonna do it for the episode today, guys. It's definitely hefty what's in the box today. Now, you know, it's just a matter of tightening down, getting everything organized, final preps for the season, and going to work like a madman on all this soft plastic lure making. I am gonna leave a link in the description if you want to go pick up some stuff from Do It Molds. Apart from that, Finesse Factory Fridays on the way. We're gonna get creative here. We definitely are gonna get creative. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe. For now, I got a little bit of editing to do YouTube, so I'll catch you next time. I'm Miguel Malenciano, and this is Evolution Angler Bassin.